Greetings. My name is Sequati of Harvest Girls Experience. I'm one of the admins for the Handmade Collective. We are having a series of tutorials and demos that the members are putting together to give the public for the holiday season. Today, my tutorial is going to be on a basic dashiki cut. After that tutorial, I'm going to explain to you and show you examples of different ways that you can use the same basic cut and get very creative with your style. So, I hope you enjoy as well. I hope you check out the rest of our series. They all will be recorded as well, so if you miss this one, it's okay. The materials you will need today are about 2 yards of fabric, less or more, depending on the size that you want your basic cut to be. Optional pins, depending on your level of sewing. For sure, a pair of scissors. Optional sewing machine, because I as well hand sew, and I know others that hand sew very, very well. So if you have the patience to hand sew, go for it. Alright, so this is a bunch of fabric I have here, but I'm just going to cut it down a little bit. Okay, I have about a yard, maybe 2 yards of fabric. One of the good ways to tell yards of fabric is by using your arm. I have very long arms, so I'm just going to use it to this point. Most people would just use it to this point, but because I have these super long arms, I'm just going to use it part way. So that's 1 yard. It's about 2 yards of fabric I have, okay? What you want to do is fold your fabric. Bam, alright? The next step you want to do is fold it in half. Now, if you're making this for yourself, what I do to measure out my fabric, if I'm making it for myself, I'll just put it right here in the middle of my chest, line it down, and then I'll find my underarm. So if your underarm is all the way up here, you want to give it some room. So this is where I would cut for myself. But when I put it on the floor, I'm going to show you how to also measure it. Now I'm putting this on the floor. If you want to measure yourself, so I guess this is one of the supplies needed too. If you want to measure yourself, I also have a diagram I'm going to show you. So I just showed you a picture of a diagram on how to measure yourself. If you were making this for somebody else, or you just wanted accurate measurements. Today, how I'm going to cut mine is by doing it on myself. So what I do, I just use my dry erase marker. This warning to the wise that this can damage some fabric. So you might not want to be so risky like me and use markers on your things, unless they're fabric markers. A pen, a pencil, chalk is actually easier. Stop that. Stop doing that, Kayamari. So chalk is easier. So today I'm just going to put it right here, middle of my chest. And then I'll find my armpit, which is right here. But I don't want it right here. I'm going to bring it down. And then I'm just going to mark a spot for where I'm going to cut the arm out. Okay? And you'll see where I cut when I show you that part of the tutorial. Now, as far as the diagram and actually using the measuring tape, because the fabric is going to be folded in half when you're cutting it out, and it's going to be laying flat, what you want to do, depending on how long you want the piece, the dashiki, you measure from, your neckline all the way down to where you want it. Then you measure in the middle again, all the way across. Alright, to however big you want the dashiki, we'll just say 10 inches today. And then for your arm, around your arm, for the armhole, just from the top of your shoulder down. You don't want it so tight up underneath unless you're making that kind of dashiki. You want to bring it down, I'd say 11 inches that way too. And then of course the length of your arm. Alright? Alright everybody, this is like the best I can get on my camera right now. So this is the fabric, fold in half. This is the spot I marked earlier. I'm gonna do a flare arm dashiki, but if you're making a dashiki for a man, what you want to start with is the sleeve. So this is the sleeve. This is where I mark my place. Of course, if you're using the measuring tape again, we measure 10 inches down, which that's right on spot. That's right on point. With 11 inches down, that's right on point with what we measured while I just showed you a moment ago. All right. So if it was a man's dashiki, I would cut it straight across, just like that. So simple. But I want to make this into a flare arm dashiki, so I'm going to cut it going this way. Okay, so here's our mark. If we were cutting a male's dashiki, we would just cut from here, from our mark, all the way straight across. But today I want to do like a flare arms cut. So I'm going to cut coming downwards. So I would cut coming this way up to my mark. Now that you have your sleeve cut out, because I marked it on my body like earlier, or if you wanted to measure, I measured around 11, 12 inches. So from your mark up under your arm, you measure across, which is your waist, and this is about 11.5 inches. So if you wanted 11.5 inches all the way down, so in the male's dashiki, you want to make sure you calculate that in. But as far as females, we can have it flare out. So instead of bringing it 11.5 inches all the way down, I'm going to have it flare out and cut this way across. Okay? Now also, I lost a piece of the video when my camera cut off. Yet I was saying, when you have it folded in half still, they have some rulers at the supply shop that you can buy. There's like a circular color net that you can easily cut. But what I do is that I just will cut it laying flat. I just cut the circle out, a little piece. Sometimes I'll even cut it much shorter than this. Just a little piece. So when I open it up, I then have some type of guidelines of also where the middle is, and then I'll fix it or bring down the neck or whatever your creative spirit is showing you to do. So now you have the basic dashiki cut. I'm going to link you to a tutorial to get my first picture credit from indietoots.blogspot.com. Indietoots, TUTS.blogspot.com. She has a great basic tutorial. She also shows you how to do a inside lining for the net line. So I'm going to send you to her website and give you the direct link to where I got that picture from, so you can also know how to do that. But for the sake of time, I'm not going to do it here because she has it laid out pretty good on her website. But off to the sewing machine now. As well, for the beginner sewers, you can take your pins and pin up on the sides if you like. It's pretty sturdy. As well, you want to cut this out on the opposite side. That way you don't have to flip it over when you go to the sewing machine to sew. Alright? Alright, everybody. You have now met me at the sewing machine, and this is a very intimate area for me. This is where all the magic happens. Okay. So today I'm going to use my serger. Yet you can also use the sewing machine. You want to use a straight stitch and then fill it up with a zigzag or overcast stitch. Either way, in the question and answers, you know, if you want to know how those look, just ask, and I'll put the webcam over at the sewing machine. All right. So I'm just going to sew this up right quick. I'm not going to do the finishing touches. I'm just going to I have two seat pedals under here, so I'm always. Okay, I am now finished with the basic dashiki cut. Okay, this is just so basic. I didn't finish up the hemming really. I just wanted to show you how to do the basic cut. With this basic cut, you can get so creative with your style. You can really just go full in and do all type of different concepts, from dresses to shirts. So many different things you could create with this. From using jersey fabric, from jackets, you can just cut down the middle. Bam, you got a jacket. Use a little bit of extra fabric, make the front part bigger. But I'll go all over that when I go through my slides with you in just a moment. I just wanted to show you the finished basic dashiki cut. Get creative with the neckline after you cut the little piece after cutting. Good, you're here. So, you know, just get creative with your style, and I will see you in the classroom in a minute. Thank you. Peace and love.